Welcome to the 3 Up, 3 Down podcast, a Dodgers Nation production. Be sure to check out all the awesome, incredible Dodgers Nation content on DodgersNation.com, where you will also find the Blue Heaven podcast and the Dodgers Dugout by Doug McCann. You can find me, your host for this podcast, Eric Yulo, on Twitter and Instagram. That is at EEULAU. And please subscribe, rate, review to all of our Dodgers Nation feeds. Let us know what you think, and let me know what you think of this podcast. This is the inaugural one. This is the maiden voyage. Let me know what you think. This will be a weekly podcast. This will be just 5 minutes a week getting you caught up on what you need to know about your Los Angeles Dodgers. Opening day was on Thursday. Clayton Kershaw was on the mound. It should have been awesome. Instead, it was not awesome. Statistically, it was Clayton Kershaw's worst opening day of his career, and I think the eye test would back you up on that. A lot of people are concerned about the velocity. He only threw one pitch over 91 miles an hour on Thursday. It's April. Let's see what happens. If the velocity is still dipping June, July, then we do have a serious problem with Clayton Kershaw. It is nice to have two backup aces, though, in Walker Buehler and Trevor Bauer. Getting back to the statistics. Worst opening game ever. Most earned runs. Most hits allowed. Fewest strikeouts. Second fewest swinging strikes. And the swinging strikes is concerning on top of only having 2 strikeouts against a team that has maybe 3 or 4 legit hitters. The stuff just wasn't working for Clayton Kershaw. And I know the spin rate, a lot of people believe that it affects things playing at altitude. I think it does. I would agree with that. The bottom line is he didn't have his best stuff, spin rate or no spin rate. Game score, which is a sabermetric piece of a data point to measure a pitcher's performance. It's graded from 0 to 100. His opening day average for his career is a game score of 69, which is pretty solid. Colorado, his game score was 28. It was awful, but let's put it behind us. It's just one start. We're just not used to seeing it with Clayton Kershaw on opening day, so it was kind of a shock. The Dodgers, it was a weird game all around. You had Bellinger's home run that ended up being a single because he ran by Turner. You had Betts misplay a ball in right field. You had 2 wild pitches by... Let's just get over that game. Let's move on. The next night, Trevor Bauer came out dealing. He had 10 strikeouts. He had a no-hitter through 6. He was absolutely dealing. He did end up giving up 4 earned on that, and then David Price came in, and David Price gave up back-to-back home runs. It's David Price. He hasn't pitched in a long time in a competitive atmosphere. We're asking to be a reliever, which I think is a good idea to have him cycle in and out of the rotation if need be. But let's take it a little easy on David Price. He's going to need some time to get back in, and especially when we're putting him in a brand new role. It's just something he's going to have to grow into. I still think he'll be an important part of this team down the stretch. And going back to Trevor Bauer, if you don't like him starting off the mound, I'm sorry. It's Trevor Bauer. We got what we paid for there. We knew what was coming with Trevor Bauer and how he handles himself on the mound. So let's not get upset about that. If you're surprised by it, I don't know what to tell you. He's a Dodger. We're just going to have to live with that. So moving on, something I did want to get into is what I think is going to be a big piece of the offense and a little statistical deep dive with Cody Bellinger. Cody Bellinger more so on the inner third of the plate, on pitches in that inner third. We saw it in that 2017 playoffs where he struggled mightily. I distinctly remember Astros pitchers just burying back foot breaking balls on him and him not being able to make contact. So you see the stats from his MVP season and you see the stats from last year and you see how the Rockies, who have had weeks to prepare for him, they haven't been on the road playing other games, and they're feeding him a steady diet of inside pitches. He's done well so far, but I think for the offense to get to where it needs to be for a 162-game season, they're going to need the most out of Cody Bellinger. And for him to do that, he's going to have to dial in how he's going to attack those pitches on the inside. It's something that's been a challenge for him in years past, and if he is going to be a 260, 270 guy, that's fine. We just can't have him hitting 245 on those pitches. It's more telling than ever right now, especially with the Rockies. When the reliever comes out and he's only throwing inside, you know what their game plan is for him. So it's on him to do it. Thank you so much. That is the podcast. Let us know what you think. Please subscribe, rate, review. Thank you so much.